next guest, Bill McCormick. Welcome.
You know, every time I hear people mispronounce my name or have trouble pronouncing it, I remember I did a Latin music show in Chicago, and there was a gentleman there from Mexico City who was trying to MC the entire affair. And he got up there, and the letter L is not common in the Spanish language. So he was like, and he's like, get it, El Grande Blanco. And so I was up. So welcome to the club. Have fun. Hi, I'm Bill McCormick. It's a pleasure to be here. And ask me anything. I don't care.
Well, I mean, he's so comfortable doing it because maybe some of you probably know, but he had a radio show. He worked for Chicago Rocker Magazine in conjunction with his radio show on Z95 ABC FM. And then in his writing journey began in 2011 with some fictional short stories. And then he went to into writing comic books, graphic novels, and full-length novels, and then dystopian nightmares to cuddly children's stories. Wow, how does your brain work? How does it go from one to another? They seem like they are so unique and different, and in different parts of the world, like Africa and Alaska.
Well, actually, it's funny you bring that up. I'm going to be part of a Comic-Con in Africa in 1 month in Nigeria, down at Ibadan. I'm going to be the first American that they're having down there as a featured artist. They were actually going to fly me in to do it, but then the pandemic hit, and then this is true. Nigeria is not accepting travelers from America. So we're the country that's not up to, oh, never mind. It just makes me mad. Anyway, so I'm not going. And they're not doing the Comic-Con live anyway, because they're in a country with functioning adults. So they're doing it all digital, and I will be there. And I'll be pushing my comic books, and I'll be pushing my novels, and I'll be saying nice things to people, and I gave them a bunch of stuff to give away. But before we get started, I really want to say one thing really quick here. Well,
Please
actually,
do.
two really quick things.
Please do.
First of all, James Rowland is on here today, and I'm going to be fangirling over in the corner. You don't want to see this. There'll probably be lube involved, but I am a huge fan of his Sigma series. I love him as an author, and it's a wrong bromance because he doesn't know about me. He has no idea who the hell I am. But I'm a huge fan of James Rowland. I've been for years. And second of all, last week I sent out my email list. I send one out every Tuesday, and it goes to the people who get my email. And I gather some of my fans are fans of Jonathan Maberry, and who's your final guest tonight.
Yes.
And they said something interesting, and I thought it was interesting because I don't know the man. I've read a couple of his things, but I don't know him. And across the board, every single one of them, there's like 5-6 letters I got back. They were all the same. Yeah, he's a great writer. Yeah, he's all these wonderful things. But he's really involved in his community. He's a really nice guy. He's a really helpful human being. He does wonderful things. And I'm like, if I'm going to get an epitaph on my life, I want that one. It isn't, they just respect the heck out of this guy. They like him as a human being. And so I'm aiming for that. And I don't know the guy, and you can let him know I said it. He won't care anyway, but it was fun. So there you go. All right, I'm done. I'm shut up. What do you got?
I'm sure he will be happy to hear that. So we have a question here. Where and when do the best ideas come to you for your books?
Where? Everywhere.
Yeah, where
Everywhere.
and when, yeah.
Where and when? When? 2:13 in the afternoon every Tuesday. No, I don't know. I get my ideas. I get my ideas from life. I heard some of the other authors talking about they get them from reading or writing or reading or watching or doing things. I don't get ideas from other people's creations. I mean, I enjoy them. I'm a huge fan of a lot of stuff. I may be the only person who still owns A.E. Van Vo's The Space Beagle. I mean, I am kind of goofy. But when it comes to getting ideas, when I write stuff, as bizarre as my stuff is, and it is bizarre, it's all based in real world stuff. I'll give you a really good example. There's a scene at the beginning of my trilogy, The Brittle Riders, where there's a couple of half naked women wiping sweat off their breasts in a bar. That happened to me at the Excalibur nightclub here in Chicago. That's something that I took that really happened to me, that I was there. Thank God I was there. That was so beautiful. I loved it. Anyway, so I saw that. And then when I was writing the scene, I wanted to convey how confident these women were and how much they were controlling the situation. And I thought that scene fit perfectly. So I reworked it, and it fit in the beginning. And it was actually one of the scenes my publisher called out, like, that scene hit. It hit hard. You know, it changed the dynamic of the room because they didn't care. They were in control of their bodies. They were in control of what they were doing. They were in control of everything. And they were no longer objects. They were now in charge. And because of that dynamic change, but that was something I lived through. And that's where I get my inspiration from. That's what I look at. That's what I do. Things I see day to day, you know?
So when you leave your home and go places, are you actively looking for stuff, or it just happens that sometimes catches your eye and, you know, strikes you and you think, oh, this would be good in a book?
Can I say both?
Sure.
I mean, I'm always looking for ideas. That's what I do. I throw letters at a screen, hope they form words, and pray to God my publisher goes, here's some money. You know, that my landlord likes that deal anyway. But at the end of the day, I don't actively look for stuff. I don't think I just like I'm looking. All right, I need something in a dystopian blad, or you know, I need something that fits a plaid color scheme that I've got. I don't do that. But I do pay attention to stuff. And I'm much more. My girlfriend, fiance now, she's always
congratulations.
Saying, thank you. Something to do during the pandemic. We can't go out and buy a ring, so we may as well just get married. No, we're going to get married after the pandemic, but that's beside the point. I don't actively look for stuff, but I do pay attention to my surroundings, and a lot of it has to do with, how do I put this? I'll give you a really good example. Please. I have a tendency to say, have a happy pandemic when I'm at the grocery store, when I'm buying something, because I don't go out much. My girlfriend is my fiance is immunocompromised. I don't want to kill her. You know, that's a bad thing to do. It's like, hey, honey, I love you. Now die. So I tend to wish people a happy pandemic. Well, I've been doing that for a while, and there's this black lady who proceeded to announce in loud voice that I was her happy pandemic N-word, and the whole place came to a stop. And I was like, and I can't hug her because we're all going to die if I hug her. So, and I understood what she meant, that I was her friend, that I was someone who made her happy, but she said it in such a poor way that it was amazing. It was beautiful. And I'm like, I can use that. I can take that, weave it into something, and someone saying something uncomfortable but wonderful all at one time, and to do that. And so that's what I look for in life. You know, the things that are a little odd, a little off, a little different, I weave those into my stories.
What do you do not to forget all these ideas? Do you carry a pen and paper in your pocket, or, you know, I mean,
my handwriting is so bad now. I stopped writing. I discovered a computer in 1984. This is my jam. I used to write everything by hand. I did some stuff by hand. Nope, not anymore. I forget about my handwriting. It doesn't exist. It's a swirl with a thing at the end. Allegedly, it's a signature. I don't know. But what I try to do, I put everything, and I've got one of these things. They're called a phone, and I just throw stuff. I'll actually text message myself ideas. I'm a horrible, boring human being, but I will text myself ideas, and then when I get home, I'll throw them on my computer and put them in files. And I have files that are like, this is my idea file, this is a promo file, this is a production file. And the thing about me is I'm very willing to change things as I go, as they develop. I was doing my book, The Brittle Riders. When I first started it, I thought it was going to be a novella, 25,000 words, whatever. And I had mental arguments with the characters in the book. And it ended up being a little over that, 310,000 words. And now it's a trilogy, and it's also an omnibus, and you can beat someone to death with it. It's 1,200 pages if you want one of those. But people are buying it, so who cares? I change stuff all the time. I have thousands of ideas, and I will go back to files and try stuff and play with stuff. And like I was saying with the Brittle Riders, I actually wiped out 80,000 words.
Wow.
Because some of the characters, once I got everything straightened out in my head, the story I'd written didn't fit. So I had to go kill all that and then go back and write the story that did fit. Which I'm glad I did, because that one got published. The other one probably would have just been sitting on my desktop for the rest of my life.
Well, we've got a bunch of questions coming in. One of it is about writer's block. I strongly doubt that you ever get into writer's block. Do you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm human, and I suffer from chronic depression, so that's no fun. You know, I have a therapist on speed dial,
So,
but
so
no,
yeah,
I'm not making light of that. By the way, it's very hard for me sometimes to function at all. Forget about writing. I mean, function. Like get out of bed and function. Those days are they're fewer and further between than they used to be, but they're still there. But yeah, I get writer's block, and I
what do you
actually,
do about it?
believe it or not, what I've my habit now is that if I have writer's block, I write laundry lists, I write grocery lists, I write something. I put words to paper. I get in the make myself go through the motions of typing, make myself go through the motion of thinking in a logical and linear pattern. And then you'd be surprised. The thing that's on the reading room this week, my reading of Fun Times at the Apocalypse, a Go-Go, that literally came from me watching Archie cartoons and writing down some of the scripts as I was reading it. And by the way, what I did to an Archie cartoon is insane and probably illegal in 4 states. So enjoy it. It's really a lot of fun.
A few quick question. Are aliens real?
Most likely, yes. Are they in our atmosphere? No. If you look at a galactic map, and think of Rio de Janeiro as the center of the universe. We are Anchorage, Alaska. We are way out in the corner. Nobody's going, hey, we're at Carnival. There's half-naked women and people with body oils. Let's go to Alaska. No, nobody's saying that. Nobody in their right mind is saying that. So we're at the butthole edge of the universe. I mean, we're way off in the corner and on the side. Nobody's coming here. Nobody's traveling 100,000 light years to look at Earth and go, ooh, look at that. They've got mucus. I mean, who cares?
2 questions about travel. First one, is time travel possible?
No.
The second
unless you're going forward.
Well, I think everybody wants to go forward now and see what's going to happen in a few months from now. Do you think we will ever travel at warp speed?
Yes, absolutely, I do. As a matter of fact, in my book, The Brittle Riders, book 3, you have to read the whole thing to get to it. But I actually sat down with a theoretical physicist from JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratories, and over drinks and calamari, we figured out exactly how to make it work, and that's in my book. I'll give you a quick clue if you're too poor or you don't want to buy the book. We figured out how to use anti-energy as opposed to antimatter to make it all actually happen, and it's in there. So if you want to build yourself an anti-energy spacecraft, of course you have to figure out how to make anti-enery. That's on you. I did the hard work. I did the good stuff. I did the hard stuff. So.
We'll grab the book. We'll grab the book and find out. And,
this is the book. This is the book. Look, it's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? Yay! Pretty.
How many multiverses are there?
Well, it depends on your point of view. And that sounds trite, but it's not. There's 2 ways of looking at the multiverse. In my comic book series, The Legends Parallel, we look at the multiverse based on Hugh Everett III, which said that there was a multiverse created when the Big Bang happened. And then after that, some Earths developed life, some Earths didn't, some Earths developed people, some Earths didn't, so on and so forth. Then there's what's called the chronological multiverse, which is the one that's really popular on television these days, which is the one that has A.G. Billig as an evil human being and A.G. Billig as some sort of school teacher, and then it has A.G. Billig as an exotic dancer, and so on. There's all these A.G. Billigs, and there's evil Bill McCormick, the drag queen. No, wait, that happened in the 80s. Never mind. I've been there, done that. But my point is, what the chronological thing is, it's what leads to the Mandela effect, that everything that you do that has a reaction that has a million different responses, and all those responses are true and real. I'm not a huge fan of that theory. I'm a big fan of the Hugh Everett III theory. And if you're not a physicist person, go to Wikipedia, look up Hugh Everett III. It's worth just noting that the guy was a chain-smoking pervert who reinvented quantum physics. So he's a wonderful guy. My hero. Yay! Hugh Everett III.
Yeah, well, and I guess another way to learn more about it and find out and also enjoy your amazing writing style is just to go and get your books and
buy my books. Yeah, buy my books. I need the money. Please just buy my
And
books.
don't kill anyone with those books, although they are thick. Use them for reading, not for killing other people with
You know,
plugging their
I'm
heads
okay
in.
both ways. You know, just do what you need to do.
Thank you so much.